Hello and welcome to another creative tutorial. Today we're going to be going over how to create a smudge painting from an original photo. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to click on the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it. Let's get started. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is open up a new document, 1920 by 1080 pixels. Next, we're going to bring up our subject image. If you would like to work with this image here, there'll be a link in the description for download. Next, I'm going to select filter and choose filter gallery. Under the artistic tab here, we're going to select dry brush. I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can see what we're working with here. My brush size is going to be set to 10. My brush detail will be set to 8, and my texture will be set to 1. If you're working with a different image, you may want to adjust the brush size according to the image you're working with, but you want to get an effect similar to what you see here. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see what you're working with here. This is the type of effect that you want to see on the image that you're working with. So I'll select OK. The next thing I'm going to do is select the new group icon at the bottom of the layers panel, and we're going to apply a mask to that group. Now I'm going to select my subject layer. I'll just click on here and name this subject. With my subject layer highlighted and selected, I'm going to press Ctrl A on my keyboard to select the entire document. I'm going to press Ctrl C. Then I'm going to click back up on my mask that we placed onto our group, and I'm going to press Alt on my keyboard and click once on this mask. Now we're going to press Ctrl V to paste in the copy that we made from the subject layer. I'm going to press Ctrl D to deselect. And the next thing I'll do is I want to darken this image here. So we really want to bring out the dark edges and increase the highlights as well. So what I'm going to do is go into Image, Adjustments, and select Curves. So I see that the darker portions are along this line right here. So I'm going to bring my whites over. I'm going to click and drag so that we have something similar to this here. I'm going to drag it over just a bit to the right, and I'm going to also make it darker. So you really want to bring out those dark lines, and maybe I could bring that out a little bit, and there we go. So my output is set to 255 and my input is set to 76. I'll click OK, and the next thing we'll do is invert the colors on our mask. So I have my mask selected here, and I'm going to press Ctrl I on my keyboard to invert those colors. Next, we're going to bring up our smudge images that we have provided in the description below for download. So I have ink smudge 1. I'm going to select that and drag it into our group. And I'm going to do the same with ink smudge 2. I'm going to select that and drag it into our group. And I'm going to put ink smudge 1 above ink smudge 2, and I'm going to change the blend mode of both of these ink smudge images to multiply. So I'll select the blend mode, change it to multiply, and I'll do the same for the bottom one as well. And we're going to hide our main layer because we no longer want to see that. We just want to see the smudges. So I'll select ink smudge 1, and I'm going to hide ink smudge 2 for now. I'm going to press Ctrl T on my keyboard because we want to scale this down a bit. I'm going to press Ctrl 0 so I can see what I'm scaling down, and holding the Shift and Alt key, I'll begin to scale down the smudges, and we're going to scale it down quite a bit so that we just get this type of effect here. I'll zoom in so you guys can see. Yeah, we'll scale it down to something like that so we can drag and place it to where we want, well, what we want to make visible here. I'm going to scale it down even more. Okay, I think that looks good there. And we're gonna do the same for ink smudge 2. So I'll make that visible. And we're gonna scale this one down as well. Control T on your keyboard. I want to make sure that I have ink smudge 2 layer selected. Control T on my keyboard. Control 0 so I can see my complete selection here. And Shift and Alt drag in. I'm gonna zoom in quite a bit so I can see the size of my scale, and I think that looks pretty good there. So I'll leave it this size. And now what we're gonna do is just work with placing our smudge layers. So I'm just gonna find good placement for my smudge layer, and if you want to rotate it, you can. Control T and just kind of rotate it into place. So I'm gonna lay this one out this way here. So we're gonna lay this one horizontal, and I'm gonna bring it over to the eyes there. And ink smudge 2 layer selected. I'm gonna press Control J to duplicate this layer, and on my copy I'm gonna just drag that one up. I think that looks good there. Again, we'll duplicate, and we'll just continue to duplicate these layers until we get an effect that we like. And I'm gonna Control T on my keyboard and rotate this a bit. Let's say we rotate it the opposite way. Yeah, I think that looks better. Let's go down here. That's where I'll place it, down here. Initially, let's start bringing out these eyes and also some of the hair. Yeah, I think that looks good there. Control J to duplicate that again, and we'll just drag that into place here. Control J. And I'm going to rotate this one, Control T, and rotate it into place. Yeah, I think that looks good there. And we'll duplicate it once or twice more, just to catch this top right portion here. Control J to duplicate. And yeah, I think that looks good. I'm going to scale it up a bit too. Shift and Alt. Really want to bring out those eyes, so I'm going to leave one here. Control J to duplicate and bring that one up. And we'll do one more for the bottom area right here. Control J. We'll just get that bottom area in there. And maybe we'll do the left side as well. Control J. Let's see if we can just add a little bit in there. I'll scale it down. Just add a little bit, and also bring out the lips. Maybe I'll rotate it a bit so we have an effect like that there. And I think that looks good. Let me go into my layers. And we're gonna hide this. We're gonna collapse this group. And what we're gonna do is take this our main layer, our main subject layer. We can make it visible again. And we're gonna take this layer and move it above. So instead of clicking and dragging, I'm gonna press Control and right bracket key to move it one up. We're gonna add a layer mask to this image. And we're going to toggle our foreground and background colors. So I'm going to put black as my foreground color. And I'm going to press Alt and backspace. As long as I have my mask selected on my subject layer, I'm going to press Alt and backspace. And we're going to begin painting with white to reveal what's on our subject layer, because we want to add some coloring in here. But the way in which we're going to add coloring is we're going to paint with the brushes that we have provided for download in the description. So I'm going to select my brush tool. I'm going to go into, matter of fact, I'm going to right click on the document to bring up my brushes. And we're going to be working with the number on here. Let me get the exact number for you guys. Is sampled brush 689. So I'll select that there. Now this brush is a bit too large, so using my left bracket key, I'll scale it down a bit. And I'm just gonna, before I click, I'm putting my opacity on this brush to 20%. So you want to make sure you have a low opacity, and we're gonna click once, and I'm gonna right click to bring up my angle, and I'm just gonna turn it around a bit so that I have something like that. Let me see what we get there. There we go. And I'll click again, and I think we could click once in the middle here. Yeah, I think that looks good there. So the next thing we're going to do is add a levels adjustment above all our layers here. So I'll go into my adjustment layer icon at the bottom of the layers panel, and I'll select levels. Now I'm going to bring my shadows in a bit. So I'm going to bring my black in a bit, and I'm going to bring my white in a bit as well. Not too much, but just a bit there. So you should see your blacks turning to like a lighter gray, but we're going to fix that right now with our midtones, and our midtones should really help to make it pop. I'll just change my whites out a little. And the next thing I'm going to do is select color lookup. I'll choose color lookup from my adjustment levels, from my adjustment layers rather, and we're gonna go with candlelight, and I'm gonna lower the opacity on this color lookup to about 20%. And the next thing I'm gonna do is add a solid color. So I'll go into my adjustment level icon and choose solid color. I want a bluish type green color, so we're gonna go with that there. And we're going to change the blend mode to multiply, and we're just going to lower the opacity as well on this, and I'm going to bring it below my main subject layer so that it ends up in our group, so that way we could just get a tint of blue on here. And the next and last adjustment layer that we'll add is a gradient map. So I'll select gradient map, and I'm going to choose my color here, and we're going to choose sepia 2. If you don't have your sepia tones available, you can click on this little cog icon and you're able to load up your sepia tones. And now that we have that available there, I'm going to just lower the opacity on this gradient map as well. And there you go, guys. You have created the smudge painting effect. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to click on the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and share it. We're always looking for new ideas and creative tutorials to upload for you guys. So if you have anything in particular that you would like us to upload, please let us know in the comment sections below. Until next time.